If you're a freeway fan, we're just east of the 405. One of the modern jewels of the NFL. Beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Here's Evan McPherson. And off we go from SoFi. This will be returned from the 6. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. So they come to the line for first down and 10. They'll run it. First carry of the game for Blake Corum. He'll take this forward maybe 2-3 yards, but doesn't matter. We have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. Working out of the shotgun, it's Hartman. He'll get this to the veteran tight end, Noah Fant.
How fast things can flip. You find yourself in first and a mile after taking a penalty on first down. But that chunk play there in the passing game now gets them back in sequence with the chains and brings up a more manageable second down.
Second down and 8. From out of the gun, here is Hartman. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes. So give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, they'll throw with Pratt. He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. But he'll gather it back in. Oh, man, Greg, those must be scary times for a player. Not that it happened to you often, but he lost the ball but was able to get it back and avoid the turnover.
Well, Mike, I hate to admit it, but unfortunately, I was in that situation a few times. And I'll tell you what, when that ball pops out of your hand, the only thing on your mind is there anything I can do to get it back? In this case, he was able to get it back, and he dodged the bullet.
And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
A corner who is not only a good tackler, Mike, but a willing tackler can be a huge asset to any defense. So often they get a bad rap. They're considered just pass defenders. They want to run around. But for a guy to be able to come up and force the run and keep this to no gain, man, that makes a big difference on any defense.
Let's go. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Here's Hartman to throw. Right side, complete to Nakua. And nice work after the catch. He stopped a little short of the first down marker, but it is a pickup of 9.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
3rd and a yard. On 3rd and a yard, here's Hartman. He gets that to his big target, Fant.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
He'll work his way forward for about 3 yards. Dax Hill up from the secondary to end the play. They face second down and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Corum. And he'll get this close to a first down. Gets about 7, maybe a yard short of the first down. Third and short, and it is Pratt. That is intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
So anytime a team suffers an early setback like that interception, human instinct says, Mike, we need to get away from our game plan. We need to adjust. I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of game left, a lot of chances to avenge that play and still connect downfield on some of these passes. All proven, though, Mike. They've got to identify what went wrong. Let's correct it so we're able to move forward.
And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a first down. A pickup of 9.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
An enviable spot to operate from. Here's second and inches. 11. Now Burrow on the bootleg. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. They get 22 yards there. It's a Cincinnati first down.
This is a great example, Mike, of just how effective it is when you're efficient on early downs throwing the ball. I mean, when you can pick up first downs without getting to third down, as the game unfolds, things just get easier and easier. Take what the defense is giving you. Don't force the ball downfield. And when you can stay ahead of the chains without having to get to third and have it plays, that's when an offense is really firing.
Here's second and 9. 11. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
They need the 24-yard line as they come up for third down. Working out of the gun, Burrow. That's the one thing they couldn't have there, the sack that might take them out of field goal range.
Outside of a turnover, this was probably the worst-case scenario. Immediate pressure in his face with nowhere to go with the ball downfield. Just get the ball out of your hand. Live to play another down. Instead, he retreats backwards and leads to a massive loss.
And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Hartman. Unloads downfield, looking for Nakua. To the 20. And he's going to take this one all the way. 81 yards. Touchdown, Rams.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan. Everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession one. What are you going to do in response on possession two? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. The return starts from the 5. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line.
On one, ready? Here we go, here we go.
Play action now. It's Burrow. A toss, left side, caught by his running back. 12 yards on the game. That's good for a quick first down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look.
On one, ready?
Here's 2nd and 6.
11, mighty. 11, what's this say?
To throw is Burrow. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
Burrow from out of the gun here on 3rd down. He's going to have that first down. Gain of 6 as they convert on 3rd down.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on 3rd down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
Now, flag comes in. It was thrown by the umpire. The pickup is 4, but usually that's a holding penalty.
Here we go.
They go play action for Burrow. Working free downfield. It is Williams. That is a big play for Cincinnati. And even 30 yards.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's a 2nd and 9. Now, Burrow. And that's going to wind up uncatchable out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner. Next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
On one, right?
3rd down and 9.
Here we go.
They'll try to get this one on the ground. About 19 yards on that one. And they're in business. It's 1st and goal.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, his offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmatched.
That one, take it in. Jamar Chase. Touchdown, Bengals. It's his 4th touchdown on the year. Evan McPherson now to kick the extra point. He's got it. And the Bengals will level things out at 7 apiece. We're all tied, 7 apiece. And the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. Here's 1st and 10.
Panther 11. Let's go now.
From the shotgun, here's Pratt. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
I know it fell for an incompletion, but pretty impressive. He was able to push that ball really far downfield as he was being hit. Really says a lot about the arm strength that this quarterback has.
Working out of the gun, it's Pratt. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Cam Taylor-Britt. And he'll be taken down, and there is a flag on the play. This is going to be a huge call. From the 34 now, it's 1st and 10.
Go! 18 Cardinal, 18 Pioneer. Take go.
Operating from the gun is Pratt. This one complete to his tight end, Fant. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
This is a tale as old as time, Mike. It seems that any time the team forces a takeaway, fumble, or interception, the ensuing drive starts with a shot, a deep play in the air to try to seize on some of that momentum. We just saw a great example of it here.
They run out of the gun with Coro. He'll only be able to get the 47-yard line. To throw, it's Hartman. That's over the middle and intercepted. And he's going to be taken down, but it's a quick change situation. He has set his offense up with 1st and goal.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
Ball at the 3, 2nd down, and goal. They'll trying to run this one in. And he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play. First half, all tied at 7. Greg and I return to SoFi Stadium after a short break. Good job so far by the defense protecting the short field. Now it's 3rd and goal. To the goal line and in. Jamar Chase. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Second touchdown of the game. Season total now up to 5. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer. Because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. He fields it at the 8. Now an opening past the 30. And they will finally get him down, but he gets all the way close to the 40-yard line. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Here's Hartman. The pressure there got to him. He's hit as he threw it, and that pass falls incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
Sending it downfield for Fant. And for the 3rd time in this first half, he's been intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Battle.
On 1, ready?
From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Burrow now. That's right side and brought in by Williams.
The best quarterbacks, Mike, they have an internal clock in their head. How does my protection match up with the rush and the route concept I'm trying to attack downfield? In this case, he's looking downfield, realizes quickly this ball's got to come out, checks it down to his underneath drag, picks up what he can.
And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
And this is why most teams, Mike, decide to take the ball first after the halftime break, because they want to be able to control this middle 4. At the end of the first half, you can use your timeouts. You can use some strategy to steal an extra possession. If they're able now to go down and come away with points, they'll have a chance to double it up again right after the halftime break.
Open man, the tight end, straight down the field. Give them 17 more, and they are on a roll. Another first down. Now the Bengals are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Set to go now on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now, Burrow. Inside the 10, it is caught. And he'll be out of bounds at the 5. That catch number 40 on the season for him.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
Inside the 5, it is 2nd and goal.
Gun.
They'll go with him again. And he'll get about halfway there. That's a gain of 2, down to the 2. So now the Bengals use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in half number 1. Once more from the 2. 3rd and goal.
Here we go. 11 MT. Got.
Back to throw. Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
Teams practice these situations all week long, Mike. Down here in the tight red zone, you find yourself inside the 10-yard line. You're thinking, we've got to come away with a touchdown. Well, after that 3rd down incomplete, it's going to be real interesting to see how they approach this 4th down after failing on 3rd. And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well. You're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
This is going to be taken in at the 3. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. And they'll elect not to run another play. Instead, just take a knee and take this on into the locker room. So we have a 10-point game here at halftime, as we send you cross-country to the Sunshine State. That's where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. All yours, Coach. All right, Coach, 2nd half, drawing near. Glad to have you back with us here on EA Sports. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the 2nd half is underway. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Off the play fake. Here is Burrow. That'll be intercepted. You talk about the opportune time. The defense helps close the gap. A huge play to make this one a closer game.
Yeah, and anytime you find yourself trailing in the 2nd half, Mike, you're looking for that spark. And boy, did the defense provide it. Not only creating the turnover, they take it back for 6, and they get themselves right back into this game.
Cardi now to add the extra point. The kick is good. And the Rams are back to within a field goal. It's 17-14. The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kick's away. On the return, it's Williams. Yeah. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive.
On 1, ready? Get set.
They bring Chase in motion. They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
So as we take a look at the box score, Mike, you realize here they got the lead. We're in the second half, but they don't have a lot of rush yards. It's because they use the passing game to score points and establish the lead. Now, how we judge their run game is from here to the end of the game. Can they pile up yards now in the second half and close this game out?
And this time they are ready for it. He'll be thrown for a loss. No big gain that carry. It's second down.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Here we go, here we go.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. They bring Chase in motion. First carry now for Jahmyr Gibbs. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up third down.
On one, ready?
Burrow. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Rams are going to get the football at their own 40.
So this is where an offensive play caller needs to come to the rescue of his quarterback, because this defense, they're onto you. They've got 2 picks. They're starting to pick up on your tendencies. They're shifting guys over to counter them. Now you've got to add some wrinkles. Now you've got to throw them a curveball and try to shift back some of that advantage to your side of the ball.
The tight end Fant in motion. They'll start this on the ground with Corum. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down. Here's Hartman to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Corum. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down.
19 tight, 19 tight. 79 Broncos. Cut 19, take go.
Throwing on third down. This is Hartman. He's got his man on the in route. Yes, take it in over the middle.
This exact situation here, Mike, tends to get a lot of conversation around the league. I think I'm going for it. I think here around midfield, you got to maintain possession, see if you can end this drive with some points. I think you got to stay aggressive, keep your offense on the field.
The Rams punting unit coming out. And he looks up and he's taken down right away. Maybe fortunate just to hold on to the ball as he was tackled immediately after hauling that one in.
On one, ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24.
Here we go.
His drive will start on the ground. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple.
On one, ready?
They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. They'll stick with him again. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up third down.
Gun. Gun. Flow.
Throwing is Burrow. He manages to get the throwaway and completes it. It'll be taken down, but it takes them across midfield down to the 40-yard line.
No, Mike, I really like this game plan, right? The strategy on 3rd and short so often is, okay, just get enough for the first down. If you decide to air it out, everything's short, get a fresh set of downs. They're saying the defense is going to pack it in close. They're protecting the sticks. So let's just throw it over their head and try to go for a big play.
Second down, Burrow. He'll go right and find his running back. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
A running back that can be used in the passing game is a handful for these defenses. And you can tell this offense, they're not shy getting this guy the ball. And I think the rest of this game, they're going to continue to see, hey, defense, do you have an answer for this guy?
Now, faking the give. Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
1-1, ready?
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this 3rd quarter. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down.
11.
Working out of the gun, Burrow. He's got a receiver. It's Chase. And he gets marked out of bounds, but inside the 5-yard line. What a letdown for the defense. They allow a conversion on 3rd and 16.
Here we go.
A run on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Touchdown, Bengals. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. They're trying to pin him deep. They'll take this from the 3. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. First and 10.
Let's go.
The tight end Fant in motion. On 1st and 10, here's Hartman. And that's going to be incomplete, but a flag down in the backfield. That's the area we usually see holding. Darnell Wright, guilty that time. The motion man is Nakua. Operating from the gun, it's Hartman. He'll look for Flowers downfield. his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see, can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
Here we go.
To the ground, a first down run. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6.
On 2.
They'll come up now for second down and 4. Here's Burrow. Quick throw here is complete. And a good job rallying to the football. Holding just a gain of a yard and sets up third down.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
On 1, right?
They'll come up to third and 3.
11 MT tape. 11 MT tape. Stop.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he's got another one. Jamar Chase. Touchdown, Cincinnati. He's doubled his touchdown output for the season in one game. That's his third of the game, his 6th this year. McPherson, good on the extra point. And the Bengals will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. He'll start at the 4. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. So they come to the line for first down and 10. The motion man is Nakua. Hartman to throw on first down. He's going to try it here again. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Zay Flowers, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up second down.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. I mean, he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier.
Just his first catch. They have held him in check so far, but that one gives him a first down. Now, Hartman. He'll go right back to Flowers. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. They'll stick with the pass, and here's Pratt. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. The tight end, Fant, in motion. Throwing is Hartman. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
Third and long. The motion man is Nakua. On 3rd and long, here's Hartman. And they're going to get to him and take him down, taken back to the other side of midfield.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
Now the Rams going to use the first of their timeouts. Punt team headed out for the Rams. And he is hoping to improve on his first attempt. And he's going to be hit and dropped right away. That's great coverage there. Winds up with nothing on the return. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look.
Gun.
They'll begin here on the ground. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards.
Here we go.
Here's a 2nd and 6. So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment.
Here we go.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. Third and 5. To throw is Burrow. Looking for his tight end on the corner route. He's got it. A gain there of 21. And the Bengals going to have a first down.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation.
I'm wondering.
And that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
Here we go. Here we go.
So this one in the win column for the Bengals. They're able to build on the solid performance of a week ago, and they make it 2 in a row with the victory here in this one. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone.